Certainly one key to success in school is the love of learning. Wouldn't it be nice to just implant that love into our own children from the very beginning? Well, that is the goal at Villa Montessori School in Moline with its small class environment and unique teaching style. Dana and Bush is here with more on their unique philosophy, which really isn't new, is it, Dana? 100 years ago this was founded?
Yes, ma'am. 100 years ago in Italy by Dr. Maria Montessori.
Her name is Montessori, yes. And you're a graduate of the Montessori schools.
I am. I attended Villa Montessori School from when I was 6 weeks old all the way through 6th grade.
Oh, and so and you're site director now? You come full circle.
Yes, ma'am.
You must really believe in it.
Absolutely, especially when I was expecting my first son, who's just turned 4 now and attends Villa Montessori.
Oh,
it was incredible to be able to see him learn and grow in such a supportive environment.
Well, we have beautiful video of what goes on there. I know that you really cater to the individual needs of each child. How do you achieve that?
Rather than teaching to a whole class at one time, children are able to learn and grow at their own pace. So if they're really excelling in math, we can meet their math levels, or if they need a little bit more support in language, we can do that too.
And you have this open classroom concept. Explain that, Dana.
So rather than individual desks or small groups or things like that, children are free to move about the classroom and use different curriculum areas throughout the day. It's really freedom with responsibility.
Well, we're seeing the little ones here, and so I want to make sure people understand that your programs go all the way up to 6th grade, starting with 6-week-old babies.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a lot of newborns like that?
We do. Our infant program is just booming.
Look at that. Infant, toddler, pre-primary, 6 weeks to 3 years, and then we go on to the 3 to 5-year-old, and that's where your son would be now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. How is that different from the preschool, the Montessori way, compared to any other kind of preschool?
It's that supportive environment where children really are able to learn at their own pace. So my son, for example, he loves math. He's able to just go as far and as quickly as he can, and maybe a child's able to do math at a kindergarten level. That's great, and we can meet their needs and do math at a kindergarten level.
Well, you had a math example here.
I do.
Is it these beads? Show me.
So this is an example of Montessori math work. This is a more advanced one, but rather than an abstract concept, children learn through concrete, hands-on, something they can touch and feel. Okay. So these beads, for example, help show a unit of 5 where a child is able to count 5 times, and through folding this, they can actually start to experiment with the concept of 5 squared.
See? It is so visual, isn't it? And that is the way we learn best. And then these can become the cube. And so it's a math concept there. And tell me what this is, Dana.
So this is a material that Dr. Maria Montessori actually designed herself for a child to be able to learn the concept of diameter in a hands-on manner. So rather than an abstract concept, a child's able to see that through this familiar puzzle that this is narrow and this is wide, and the only attribute that changes is that diameter. So when thinking about reading and writing, the difference between a B and a D is they're very similar, just like these knob cylinders, but they're just a little bit different.
We learn the most we'll ever learn in our lives before we're 5 years old.
90% of brain development by age 5.
Wow. So when you see, I mean, you have direct hands-on contact with, your own child who goes to the school, and you went through it yourself, and these kids are here. What is the biggest difference? What do you think is that, if you had like a bottom line you could bring us today, Dana, what would you say?
I'd say the independence. Everyone talks about problem solving, critical thinking, how challenging that is to teach, but even from our infant program, children are able to develop that from day one. That independence and being able to do things for themselves and respect for themselves and the environment.
And then you mentioned the environment, you have kind of a peaceful, kind of a rural setting for the school.
It's really surprising. We're on 8 acres, situated just in Moline, so just minutes from 74 and John Deere Road, but 8 acres, lots of grassy open space, outdoor classrooms. It's fantastic.
Without being out in the country, right? So finally, then there are the older kids as well, up to grade 6.
Yep.
Villa Montessori School. Dana's representing them today to tell us about this concept, which is not new, but I think it has a renewed emphasis or a renewed popularity concept now. Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
People are looking at new ways for kids to learn because some of our ways have failed. Really.
Absolutely, and that's where we're seeing a lot of traditional approaches starting to integrate more of the Montessori approach.
Well, there we go. And Dr. Montessori started all 100 years ago.
Yes, ma'am.
Dana, nice to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, it's